think we are.
We are?
Welcome back. Yes.
Oh, yeah. What's up, guys?
If this is your first time, we are the guys from the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts Podcast. I am Mike Straus, a.k.a. Straus21. This is Apollo Taje Mahal.
Hey, how you guys doing? And we are the fastest growing podcast out there, so you better hop on the hype train. Hashtag join. Stop being so humble. Now...
So if you guys aren't familiar, we do have the Did You See That Shit podcast. If you haven't yet, subscribe on all the platforms. We're on all of them. You have to be at this day and age, right? How could you not be?
Yeah.
It's like, there's still stores that don't accept credit cards. Well, how do they even survive? Unless you're doing things that you can't pay for. Like, I understand if you're buying on this 420. I understand if you're buying medical cannabis because that's a cash-only business. But we're going way off topic.
Well, there's a taco place I go to that's a cash-only business.
That's unusual.
I think they sell crack out the back.
Well, that's not there. That's the catch. There's always a caveat. So, if you guys don't know, I'm Mike Straus, a.k.a. Straus21. I am a mixed martial arts journalist for Combat Press and Cage Side Press, and then of course we do the show here. Man, it's been a crazy couple of weeks in the world of mixed martial arts. It always is though, right? There's never a rest. So
yeah, but this has been a little crazier.
We just put up episode 19 of the podcast. This isn't going to replace the podcast or anything, guys, so don't worry. All we're going to do here is we just figured, once a week we'll do a live show. Yeah, we'll just kind of catch up on everything, and it's a good thing we did because on this glorious 420, we're on the eve of the UFC in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I was
weigh-ins happened this morning.
Yeah.
Guess what? Kevin Lee missed weight by a pound.
Wow, he was dying.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that.
He had to been dying, dude. Missing weight by a pound.
He didn't look like he was dying.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe he was. I wasn't there. We are represented there though because Jay Anderson, one of the amazing editors at Cage Side Press, is there covering it. Definitely check out Cage Side Press's YouTube channel because there's going to be a ton of. He already has a ton of very cool interviews that he had for Media Day yesterday, but he's going to be continuing putting a bunch of awesome content out through this whole weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah, man. Why? What can we do about missing weight? Like, I don't know what
more weight classes.
More weight classes.
Yeah.
But then you'd still have crazy people trying to get down. You'll have that.
You always will. But more weight classes, I think, would help mitigate.
Correct. That. Oh, man.
So, yeah, let's talk about that.
But the fight's not off. That's all I care about.
No, because Barbosa, he's a savage. He agreed to a catchweight bout. Let's on this show, we're really just going to give our Atlantic City, the fight night picks. We're going to give our picks and maybe talk about Bellator 198 because we are in a suburb of Chicago here. And, Bellator 198 is next weekend, and it's in Chicago.
I'm
super excited. I will be there, and man, I can't wait. I'm excited.
And I'll sneak in.
I don't know if you can sneak anywhere.
Listen, I'm very sneaky. Very sneaky.
I don't know. You'd have a hard time sneaking.
I got a great body roll. All right, guys. Listen. Anyways,
you're surprisingly very nimble for a big guy. Though.
I'm very nimble.
You are.
So that's why I can sneak in, man. I'm the Beverly Hills Ninja.
Well, it's a funny reference too. I thought that way beyond your age, but
no, I was a weird kid.
Yeah, you wearing a Martin hat, so
yeah. Honestly, I grew up in a very weird home.
And happy birthday to my sister, whose birthday is today as well.
Happy birthday!
She's in Colorado.
Just lucky her.
Coincidence, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. So, Fight Night, Atlantic City 128. The main event, Lee versus Barbosa. It's no longer a lightweight. It's a catchweight bout, but still an awesome fight. We had picked, I think both of us picked Lee on episode 19 of our show, right?
Yeah, I picked Lee.
Are you going to stay with that? Because now, we already got to see the weigh-ins.
If you miss weight by a pound, one of two things happen. Either you tried really, really hard and your body just stopped. Like it's not going to get there. Mm-hmm. Or you didn't even try and you kind of got there and then you're like, cool. Because then there's a difference. One, he's completely depleted himself until the last second. One, he gave up halfway through and kind of added some more.
He didn't look like he was on death's door. Kevin Lee has historically had a rough time with the weight issue. We were talking before we went live that a 165 class would probably do him wonders, right?
Yeah, Man, I'm gonna stick with Kevin Lee only because I still think he just has the tools to do it.
Yeah.
He's always had an issue with his weight, and it hasn't, hugely affected his career. So I'm just gonna keep my pick for him right now.
I'm gonna too. I'm gonna keep with Lee, and if Lee does win, I don't know how much credit he's really gonna get because it's one of those weird situations, right? Because he misses weight. And he still gets the fight via a catch weight because Barbosa accepts the catch weight, and if he wins, he's gonna get a win and everything that goes along with that. But in the fans' eyes, in the media's eyes, how much is that? It's not gonna count for.
I think it depends on how he wins.
This is true, but
because the way Yoel Romero won, kind of similar instance. He won so spectacular, I was just like, you know what? Yes, he is the number one contender. So it depends on how he wins.
That's true. But for me, this is more about Barbosa, right? Because if Barbosa wins, then he beats Lee, which he needs, coming off that Khabib fight. And if he loses to a guy that misses weight, but he still took the catch weight fight, so it doesn't ding him too much. So I think this is a good thing for Barbosa. I still think it's going to be a good fight. I'm still going to go with Lee because, as you said, I think he's got more tools. Specifically, his wrestling is, as you said, I think on our podcast, Barbosa has historically had a rough time with really good wrestlers. And Lee's ground and pound is nowhere near the level of Khabib's.
No,
but
Khabib
it's good.
Is a scary animal that I don't want nowhere near me.
How about Edgar Swanson? This is a rematch. The first time these guys went at it, Edgar ran through Swanson. That was a long time ago, man.
Who did I pick? I think I picked Swanson for this.
Did you? Is that what you're sticking with?
I think I'm... All right.
We have the benefit of the weigh-in now, so,
I was in the heat of the moment, guys, and I decided to go with Swanson because I was feeling Cub a little bit. I felt he was...
So are you flipping? You flip-flopping here?
I feel bad, but no, I'm not flip-flopping. I'll never flip-flop.
Swanson?
I stay Swanson. Swanson's going to win. I'm sorry, Edgar. I'm a huge fan, but
how do you think
Swanson
it's going to play out in a 5-round fight? I'd like to see these guys in a this is a 3-round. I'm sorry. I'd like to see it in a 5-round.
Yeah.
Although it only took...
That's what I think actually benefits Swanson, is that it's a 3-round fight.
So you think it's going to go to the decision?
If it does go to the decision, I think Swanson can... Because Edgar's kind of a slower starter. He has been known to.
In some fights,
in some fights. And if you're going to catch him, you got to catch him early, because if you start getting into the later rounds, I think Swanson... I have a feeling. I have it in my toes.
I think I went with Edgar when we did our podcast, and now that we've had the benefit of the weigh-ins and all that, and we've got to see how they both look, I'm gonna stay with Edgar as well. I'm gonna stay with my pick, and it's not so much anything against Swanson. It's just that I don't think Edgar is done yet. I don't think he's done. I don't think he's on the downside of his career. I don't think he's on the way up. But I think he's just kind of in between there,
He's like Uriah Faber.
I think he's better, but that's a whole thing. How about this one is where it kind of gets a little bit more convoluted, in my mind anyway. In the odds makers in Vegas, not so much, because Justin Willis is a pretty substantial, like a plus 260 around. He's a plus 260 favorite over Chase Sherman, the Vanilla Gorilla. I think Sherman's going to win the fight. I can see, I guess, why Willis has superior wrestling, and he trains at AKA, so he can go hard, right?
I went with Willis.
Yeah, you did, and I went with Sherman. And the reason why I kept going back is because the war that Chase Sherman had with Rashard Coulter was epic. It was a fantastic fight. And Sherman, listen, I didn't think before that fight I wasn't a big Chase Sherman guy, but he showed a lot. And listen, Coulter was no joke, and he hits like a Mack truck, and I don't know, that fight was amazing. If you've never seen the fight, go watch it. Chase Sherman, Rashard Coulter. He showed a lot in that fight. He showed a lot of heart. And I haven't seen that heart from Willis yet. That's why I'm going with Sherman. How about David Branch against Santos?
I went with David Branch.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
I don't think you did. I think you just did now. I think we both went with Santos here.
Oh, yeah, now I remember why, even though
it's 420.
Sorry, guys. No, also, it was like 2 days ago, all right? I got shit to do in my life. Important things happen. I have meetings. I'm an international businessman. That's my Tinder profile. No. Oh, yeah. I remember why I went with Santos. Because every time David Branch
remembers.
Yeah, has gotten to the big show, he's let me down.
Exactly.
He's broken my heart too many times, and I refuse to allow him to do it again.
Yeah, we talked how he was similar to Michael Bisping and Dustin Poirier.
I think Santos is going to win.
Yeah, I think that Branch is a guy that's had a ton of success outside of the UFC. This is a second run at it. He had a rough go against Rockhold, but Santos is no punk, and he's got a ton of power. Branch, I never like to say a guy's got a suspect chin, but let's just say Branch's chin has been tested, and he always doesn't get A or a B. Sometimes he gets a C, and at the UFC level, C's aren't good, Santos has A power, so yeah, Santos. This one should be definitely these. Okay, this is a 6-fight main card, so these next two are the first and the second fight on the main card here, and I think both of these could be fight of the night contenders easy. You have the Pikey Brett Johns against Aljamain Sterling.
I went with Sterling. I just felt that he
Aljo.
I just felt he's good, man.
Anything to do with him training with Matt Serra and Real Longo?
It's a lot to do with that. And how
Those guys are fucking awesome.
They are awesome, and I believe everything they say. So if they tell me that
I'd
Aljamain
love
is the man,
to have one of them on the show.
Oh, dude, can we get
Either
Matt
one.
Serra? I want to talk about our love of pizza.
I'd love to have Ray. Either one.
Ooh, I want to have a debate with Matt Serra about pizza.
No, what, New York or Chicago?
Yeah,
I don't even want to go there right now.
if you say New York,
Anyway, who do you like at the fight? Sterling?
yeah, Sterling.
How do you think this ends, though? Because the Pikey's undefeated. So how does Sterling be that guy that can figure out a way to beat the Pikey? No one has. And I remember Aljo's coming off that crazy knockout by Marlon Moraes. It was like he's going for a kick, but
Yeah.
a knee hit him. So
I just think he has
it's a
a
big
lot
fight
of.
for Sterling.
It is a huge fight for Sterling, and I think he can. I think he's going to pull it out. I don't know how. I don't see how it's going to happen. I'm just having belief in my people.
Yeah, when you say your people, you mean mixed martial artists, right?
Yeah,
That's what I thought. Yeah. For some reason, I like Sterling in this fight too. Not so much a knock against Johns again, but I just, for whatever reason, I think this fight is going to be determined in a scramble somewhere. I think someone's going to get caught in a scramble. I think that someone is going to be Johns. I like Sterling in this fight. I do. How about Jim Miller, Dan Hooker? This is Dan Hooker is a guy who reminds me of like a young Jim Miller or a Joe Lozon, like a scrapper like that. Jim Miller, I do think. Remember how I said Frankie? I don't think is on that.
Yeah.
Downs. I do think Miller is. So I'm gonna go. Hooker here, and This could be fight of the night, easy.
Oh yeah. Well, anytime I see Jim Miller on anything, I think it's fight of the night. It's eventually, I'm going with Hooker. I think I picked Jim Miller on the podcast, but I'm going with Hooker.
Yeah, you flip flop more than the
I flip flopped once on this card. Once.
You forgot. Whatever. It's 420.
I know once.
Okay, so that's pretty much the Fight Night Atlantic City card tomorrow, and there's a lot of good fights on the undercard too. So all in all, not a bad card at all. There's some really good fights on there. Of course, I'm gonna watch it. How about Bellator 198? Let's briefly talk about that. That is just, it's not even what it's next week.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. It's Mir versus Fedor. Everything young.
There's a lot, man. Emmanuel Sanchez is fighting on that. Rafael Lovato Jr.
I was a young lad.
Yeah,
I was only like 14 years old.
I'm a huge Frank Mir fan. I'm a huge Fedor fan. This is a fight like you've joked about a lot. This is something we're hoping to see. We're getting it now. Who cares? We're getting it now.
I remember when me and my friends were speculating, like, Fedor's going to be in the UFC. Oh my gosh. And then I was like, they bought Strikeforce. Fedor's going to be in the UFC. And then it never happened. And now I get a fight that I wanted ever since I was 14. And it most likely will not be a good one. This fight, due to age and attrition, will be either really, really awesome or really, really sucky.
You think so?
Yeah, there's no happy medium in this fight. It's either going to be some crazy KO or crazy submission where someone's arms get broken, or it's going to be a 3-round suck fest.
Okay, could be. Remember, it is the third fight in their heavyweight Grand Prix, right?
Yeah.
So
And,
also on that, as I said, Emmanuel Sanchez, he's fighting Sam Silica. Neiman Gracie is fighting Javier Torres. Rafael Lovato Jr., as I said, is fighting John Salter. It's a great fight. Dylan Dennis is making his debut against a guy that his record may not reflect it, but Kyle Walker, I've looked him up because he's a training partner of Jake Smith. Shout out to Jake Smith.
Yo, Jake Smith's Twitter is hilarious.
Dude, yeah, it absolutely is. And Kyle Walker's going to be a good fight against Dennis. That's going to be a good match. And then you have Armando Cameron against PJ Kaljaris. And then you have that's where it kind of starts to drop to some guys that you guys may know. Tom Schoaf, shout out to Tom Schoaf. He is a guy that, he's a local guy. He fought when Bellator was here at 175.
Yeah.
Fights out of Northwest Indiana. Just a really, really solid fighter. But anyway,
I'm not
digress.
making any picks on that one yet.
Not yet. We'll do it next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week because I got to go through and figure out who's actually fighting and go through all that fun stuff. And
we got to wrap this anyway because we're going to have to take an interview here in just a few minutes with Josh Streaker.
An interview I'll actually be on.
A pro fighter from Illinois. Awesome fighter. He just had a fight last weekend. UFC, I believe. Yeah.
I have never heard of this guy, and you come up to me and go like, dude, look at this. I was like, what?
Well,
okay.
you always got to, the local dudes.
Yeah, you constantly. And then I was like, what is this?
And also, too, I know that we talked about it a little bit on the last podcast, on episode 19, about the Ultimate Fighter season, the new season, 27, the Undefeated.
Fart noises, please.
Well, we're not, this isn't a podcast, this is live, so we can't add the fart noises in right now, but one of the guys on there, I watched, one of the guys on there that caught my eye was Violent.
What?
Okay, sorry guys, Bob Ross, you know who Bob Ross is?
Yes.
Violent Bob Ross. That's his nickname. Amazing.
Does he look like Bob Ross?
Does he? Uncanny. Anyway, I've already reached out to him. We're gonna be speaking with him on Monday, and maybe we'll even do a live interview with him.
Excited for.
Does he look like Bob Ross?
Does he look like?
Come on now.
Yo, show me this.
Does he look like?
Just show me this. This is awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
Luis Pena.
Oh God, Violent Bob Ross.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, check Violent Bob Ross out. Shout out to him. He's on the new season of Ultimate Fighter.
No!
Yes.
No!
He does look like him. So.
No!
And he's a damn good fighter. Go check out his fights.
God.
So,
I would not fight that vampire.
No, listen, dude's a talented fighter.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So I can't wait to speak with him. We're not going to speak at all about Tough because I know he can't. So it's going to be just strictly about him. So it's going to be fun.
He is the scariest looking dude I'd ever not want to fight.
No, he doesn't look scary. He just looks like a Violent Bob Ross. I think they did it perfect. Until next time, guys. Next week.
Bye. God, Bob.